What's up, everybody? How are you doing? Let's make it this size. What's going on? There we go. What's going on, everybody? Man, first time I'm talking today. Long weekend, but I made it. You guys made it. We all made it. Let's see who's here. We got you guys are here. I'm here. I even said it. There he is. Maximus, what's up, man? Robbie, how you doing? We got CJ and Ludo and the Wizened Carbide. We got Cool Down Gaming Guild. I think that's a rebrand right there. Good morning to everybody. We'll talk more about Cool Down Gaming Guild in the future, I'm sure. Does everybody have a robot? Did you get a robot from Crazy Goose Flock? Shout out to Agash and Ventral. It's a really nice website. And I have a few Crazy Goose Flock, but I only crafted one robot so far, and I love it. You guys want to see it? I'll show you my robot real quick. How about that? I'll go to Twitter because I posted it. I posted it on Twitter. And I'm going to go right here. So go back here. Check that out. Isn't that nice? Goot juice. I like it. I like it. It came from this guy right here, my profile picture, which I also like. He's got the eyes. Angel. So I love this project. I've loved it for a while. It was kind of the inspiration for Long Boys. If you've been hanging out on Twitter with the Algo fam, everybody's favorite hashtag. And yeah, so that launched yesterday on Easter. Okay, what are we doing? It launched yesterday on Easter. I had a good Easter. I spent some time with some friends and my family. It was a long weekend. I did a lot. I was very active this weekend. I wasn't just home hanging out, on Twitter. I actually saw people and did things. Man, and then tomorrow you can buy shoes from Little Dirk on the Algorand blockchain. I think it's tomorrow, right? Next Gens giving you an opportunity. You want to look at that too? What am I doing? I'm looking at random stuff early in the morning. Let's look at Next Gens real quick. We looked at this last time. All right, now we're just going to be right back to where we were with my profile picture. Next Gens. I'm not paid to do this, by the way. Or no, I think there's no E. Nobody is paying me to talk about Next Gens. And you know what? If I find it hard to find, it'd be great. I don't think this is it. Guys, I tried, but you can look it up. You can look it up and find the Little Dirk shoes. It's cool, man. It's happening on Algorand. I think that's exciting. For $500, you're going to be able to get some shoes, and you're going to be able to get an NFT with it. They're limited edition. And I think you can put those shoes on avatars as well. It's pretty cool. It's cool. Jeff Malky from Startup Boost, also a friend of the show. He's over there helping. Little Dirk is a co-founder. It's not like they just pasted Little Dirk's face on there and been like, everybody, you love Little Dirk, don't you? I think he's actually a co-founder. I saw a post of somebody unironically saying, I'm pretty sure Little Dirk is in this for the money, not the tech. Oh, no shit. Like, what are we talking about? Of course, Little Dirk is trying to make money. I mean, what are we doing, guys? You think that he just came to Algorand for, they probably did. They could have gone anywhere. So they're probably actually here for the tech and figure that they can have cross-reach appeal. Anyways, enough of that. How's it going? Man, we got a big week ahead. There's a big week. We got CPI on Wednesday. That's an interesting one because that'll be the last real important inflation read before the Fed meeting in the beginning of May. So I think the markets are going to figure out real quick if they're going to raise it again. But I believe last I checked, the futures were trending down because I think people are afraid of a recession. As you may, you know what I mean? Let's look real quick. I'm going to unshare my little NFT. How overexposed to NFTs are you folks? I'd love to know. Like, I see people being like, jokingly being like, my net worth is in JPEGs leading into a recession. I hope that's not all of you folks. I hope that's not all of you. Diversify into much stabler assets like Algo. Just kidding. Oh man, we're in the thick of it, aren't we? We're in the thick of a bear market, and everybody wishes we weren't. We're in a bull market, right? And shout out, by the way, to Crazy Goose Flock, to Next Gens, to Pyrenees Pack, to anybody that's launching into this market right now and doing well. I know that those robots look fantastic. The site looks fantastic. Pyrenees Pack, they did Pixel Pups, and those sold very well. And a lot of good things were happening. So, these guys are launching in undesirable markets, and some of them are doing very well. Not everybody will, but the ones that I mentioned definitely are. Okay, so let's look at the markets. We'll go to everybody's favorite website, CNBC, and check out futures. I wish it would default to this one, not the one in the middle. That's okay. I probably can do that, and I would. All right, we're sharing. We're ready to go. We're ready to look here. Okay, no, this is not. Okay, this is getting worse. The 10 years pushing up a little bit. Investors are worried about a recession. Well, on Friday, we actually did do a show, and I think we talked about this on Friday. But on Friday, we got unemployment numbers that were a little, worse or better, however you want to look at it. But now we're starting to actually take bad news as bad news. This is actually a turn in markets, because for the longest time, higher unemployment would have worked wonders for this market. But right now, I think people are like, this is going to get bad. This is getting bad. We're headed into a credit crunch, yada, 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 yada. So I think we're pricing that in. Hopefully it's not as bad as a lot of people think it is. A lot of people are kind of calling it bad, but let's see what they're saying here. S&P 500 future decline as fears of recession. Let's see. Futures tied to the broad market fell, whatever. Tech stocks lagged. Markets are coming off a choppy week as investors digested signs of a weakening labor market. However, the March jobs report on Friday showed a resilient economy and moderate inflation, which pushed stock futures and treasuries higher. Okay, we're not going to get back into that old data. Oh, and by the way, we just finished Q1, so we're going to get earnings reports from all these companies, and so many companies have been laying off a bunch of people, which is going to make all these unemployment numbers get worse. And you would imagine that there was a reason why they're laying off all those workers, because their numbers aren't as good as they want them to be. So we potentially are going to have a very choppy Q2, you would think, unless everybody outperforms and we get really excited. Like if the CPI on Wednesday is much lower than expected, even lower than expected, I think they're going to still think, okay, they're probably going to raise one more time. But if it's much lower, and then we have banks, we have all the big banks, we have BlackRock coming on Friday to deliver their earnings. The big banks actually might do okay. I have no idea. But anyway, investors are in for a busy week of economic data. Here we go. They'll say it better than I did, including the latest consumer price index and producer price index data due out Wednesday and Thursday, respectively. CPI is Wednesday, PPI is Thursday, which will key in determining if or when the Fed will pause or put an end to its rate hike campaign. My guess is that things are going to get so bad and credit's going to dry up so much that we potentially get one more, and then we're going to pause for as long as they can hold, and then we'll probably start cutting. But if they start cutting too early, that's going to tell the markets that a bad recession is coming. And possibly a depression. Our guess is the equity market needs economic Goldilocks, a bit of a slowing to continue to cool inflation expectations, but not too much to spark hard landing fears. They'll also get the first batch of companies reporting first quarter results. Tilray kicks things off on Monday, and the major banks like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup are on Friday. I think on Friday is also BlackRock, like I said. Tech stocks are underperforming in the pre-market. All right, fine. So there you go. We'll go to your other favorite website, Bloomberg. I know how much you guys like it when I scroll these macro sites. Bond market is overplaying the risk of a deep recession. Okay, that's good. What commercial real estate stress means for banks and bonds. We're not going to read that. This seems to be heating up. U.S. Navy challenges Beijing in South China Sea amid Taiwan drills. Elizabeth Warren and AOC ask Silicon Valley Bank depositors to detail ties to bank. Okay. I'm not going to read that either. People are getting mad at Elon Musk for throttling outside sites like Substack. And I certainly noticed I can't post my YouTube links on anything I want people to see, which is annoying. All right. Not really all that interesting, to be honest. Let's look at CoinDesk real quick. Futures are down, but crypto is just like, we really like it at 28.3. We like it. We really like it from 27.8 to 28.3, and Ethereum from 18 to 19. And definitely XRP at 50 cents. You can buy that for $0.50. Ether options tilting bearish. How about you do your thing, okay? Stop with all this stuff. Are you guys seeing this? Yeah, I'm going to share this tab instead. Sorry, guys. First Mover Americas, Ether options tilting bearish. The latest price moves in crypto markets in context for April 10th. Okay. Options call put skew showed both short-term and long-term bearish put options trading at a slight premium to bullish calls. The put bias shows lingering concerns that some stakers might rush to liquidate their tokens following Ethereum's Shanghai upgrade on Wednesday. So what I need to understand, and which I should probably understand before going live to actually provide value for you guys, is on Wednesday, what percent of the staked ETH is going to be actually available? I know Lido, you're not going to be able to get your staked ETH on Lido until early May. Oh, well. Hey, Coop, read two sentences later. The Shanghai upgrade will open withdrawals of more than 18 million ETH staked in the Beacon chain since December 2020. According to Galaxy Digital, 553,650 ETH might be sold over 7 days following the upgrade, amounting to per day selling pressure equal to just 1% of Ether's daily trading volume, and is likely to have a big negative impact. Such a weird sentence. To just 1%, but it's likely to have a big negative impact. I see a lot of people making the case of being like, look, a lot of those staked ETH are actually underwater at 18.5, 1900. So they don't think people are going to sell it. Now, if people are looking at the market and they're seeing how bullish crypto has been this year, they may want to lock in a price of 1860 because they feel like in a month or two, they're going to be able to get it much less. See how that works, guys? So I wouldn't just sit there thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be fine. BitGet is going to put $100 million on an Asia-focused Web3 fund. Sushi Swap. I wasn't going to really talk about this, but we could. Decentralized Sushi Shop suffered an exploit on Sunday involving the Route Processor 2 contract used for trade routing on the exchange and led to a loss of more than 3.3 million to a single user. The Sushi token was volatile in the past 24 hours. Just a single user, huh? Friday's U.S. jobs report has raised bets that the Federal Reserve will increase rates next month. Okay. I don't even. So we know prices are about the same. We're going to look in a second. Get out of here. Thank you. All right. Nothing that interesting. Where's CoinMarketCap? Did I not queue up CoinMarketCap? We'll go to Vestige first. All my Algorand friends. We're on Vestige. ReCoop Live is still there. Love it. 21.5. That's where we were a few days ago. It's been trying to push up, but it's not. Look at that. That looks like a climb over 7 days for chips. Top TVL in the ASA market. Chips, man. I every time I look at this, I think I got to get into chips. I bet you they got some NBA playoffs going on over there. I might be interested. I might actually use chips this playoff season if that's true. How do they do that without getting in trouble? We're not going to talk about that. Okay, DFly. That doesn't look as good. Opulus. There you go, buddy. A couple cents up. Vestige has been looking good. They keep on adding features. Love it. All right. So these are the ASAs. Finite, friend of the show, bank on Algorand, artist behind the Coops NFT project. I think there's going to be some Finite farms on Pact.fi. Excellent decks. Last I looked, had the most TVL, had the most liquidity on there. And they're opening up farms. And you can use your ledger for their farms. So Pact is where it's at. And Finite is over there. Some good LP opportunities. Loudfi? What are we talking about here, folks? What are we doing? Look at that beautiful chart. All right. I think that's enough. Nexus. That looks okay. All right. Okay, but I do want to see CoinMarketCap, so I'm going to go here real quick. Sweet. Okay, there you go. Okay, the last 24 hours, which was Easter. So, I mean, let's not get too crazy. But yeah, 12 billion is very low. 6 billion is super low for Ethereum. But like I said, yesterday was Sunday. The last 24 hours were Easter in the United States and many other places. Is the United States the only place that celebrates Easter? Just kidding. Yeah, okay. XRP, 50 cents. Cardano, 38 cents. I can almost guess. I don't even need to, Doge is 8 cents. Polygon, $1.10. Solana, 20. Polkadot, a little bit up over 6. $90 for Litecoin. These are all the same. Nothing so sideways. I think Monero is 157 on Friday. All right. $1.90. I think Near was $1.99 on Friday. And Algorand was like 21.6. So everything's the same. Nothing's really happening. All right. Let me check in with you guys real quick, and then we'll go back and do some more. All right. How's everybody doing? There he is. Fisherman.algo is John Mazzoni. How are you doing, John? I'm sorry saying your full name. His birthday is May 3rd, and he lives in Wisconsin. I'm just kidding. I hope. What if all that was true? I made all that up. Chris Swenner, he puts his full name there, so that's okay. So are you saying we had a weekend off? Is that what that was supposed to be? Were you working, Chris? Living in Boston. I bet you that's Native by Scully Friends. From Native, Maximus, no longer doxed. I got you. Okay, good. You can't hide anymore, Chris. Everybody knows you. They have started Farm Arm Packed for everybody in top TVL. Coop, thoughts on guard having no high volume pools? I haven't looked at guard. I feel like I'm kind of scared to look at guard, Ibu. You know what I mean? I'm not really but I think you've just wow, Gialgo down. Did I pass by Gialgo? Coop, thoughts on guard having no high volume pools? Oh, right. Man, I don't know. Are you guys concerned about guard? I don't want to be. I don't want to FUD. What am I doing? I'm all like, I'm gonna go look at. I just passed by Gialgo. Why would Gialgo be down? Oh, because it's you can't redeem it anymore. Duh. Um. Yeah. I'm not even sharing this. Sorry, guys. But yeah, Gialgo is in fact down. Thanks for pointing this out. So, have you guys heard little arbitrage alpha on the ReCoop? Look at that. So you got what? 0.95? There you go. Right now, you can make 43 algo on 1,000 algo. Right there on Vestige and their aggregate. You probably even do better if you because liquidity issues. About the same. You get 45. So if you break it down. You guys play this game? Is this the game that you play? Because we have to play this game a little bit, folks, because what? Yeah. So 1144. So you can every 1,000 you can get about 45 free algo if you're willing to hold it for the full 3 months. That could probably get better too. There's going to get a time because when everybody gets all that G algo from because not everybody, we still have 21 days or not 21 days. We certainly do not have 21 days. Do not listen to that. But we have about I don't even know what days it is. It's about 10 days. We have about 10 days until you have to commit. So there will be a time when everybody decides to commit, and it's going to be over the next 10 days. It's not everybody's not going to wait until the end, but they're going to want to swap their G algo for algo, and people are going to be willing to take an L because they're going to want that algo right now because maybe they'll see a LP that they want to be in that's more, whatever. Who knows why people are going to do that and not kind of skirt it, but you're going to be able to get some arbitrage opportunities there. But yeah, Algo HQ, I haven't really looked at the guard having high volume pools, but that makes me feel like they're not prioritizing liquidity in their with their pairs. I'm not promoting LoudFi, dude. If you were missing my point of even saying the words LoudFi is why the hell is it even there? And why does it have like $65,000 worth of liquidity? All right. Thank you. 11 days, 2 hours until the end, to be more specific. So I would even gotten better pricing if I had some vestige. I didn't have my wallet connected. Did I? I don't think I did. Are XGovs KYC'd or does it work just like governance but locked in longer? I think the latter, Chris. I don't think it's KYC'd, and you're just locked in longer. And some of the specifics of that, and I should probably be a more expert about the expert governors, but is what happens is that your rewards are your voting power. So this time, let's say you put in 1,000 algo and you are going to get 50 algo. I don't know. These are just random numbers. You're going to get 50 algo rewards. Then next quarter, you have 50 algo reward voting power, and you have to lock that 1,000 algos for 4 quarters. Got it? Right? Or is it just locked? See, this is where I'm confused. Are you just locking? I'm confused right now because I'm half awake. I woke up at 2:30 this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. I feel like I'm a mess. I do feel like a mess. So right now, trying to do any sort of like logic, but it's all I know is that you have your rewards or your voting power, and certainly those rewards, you lose your rewards. Yeah, you have to keep your 1,000 algo for 4 quarters, Chris. Okay, so stop it. Just stop it, Chris. Just kidding. Are you going to be a governor, Christopher? Are you going to be a governor this time? I wonder if they're going to use the rewards from period 6 for XGov. They're not. They're not. I do know that they're not going to do that. I do know that any kind of voting will happen next quarter. So right now you are establishing, you're signing up for XGov and you're establishing your voting power. Yeah, you lock the rewards for 4 quarters. Yeah. Coop, thoughts on NFT NYC? I was hoping to go. But I got uninvited by more than one person. I got, look, guys, sometimes you get uninvited. You know what I mean? I'm not usually the one. I don't usually get uninvited. It's usually not a problem, but I definitely got uninvited to NYC. It's okay. I kind of anticipated that. But it looks fun, right? It looks like everybody's going to go there. Rand Gallery has a bunch of people going, and a lot of artists are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Are you going, Ibu? Oh, yeah, of course you're going. You live in New York, or you did, or you certainly live close to New York. It better not KYC. That would ruin it for sure. I wonder if they're going to, okay, we already read that. Like if you put in 1,000 algo and you're guaranteed 100 algos rewards, you need to lock the 100 in rewards for 4 quarters and fully use that 100 algo to vote each. Yes. Yeah, of course you're going. Yeah, that's another aspect of the voting. You have 100 algo voting power, and you have to use all 100 algo voting power, or else that will also disqualify you. So they're saying you better participate in the voting and completely participate. And there will be some like burner thing at the end. If you didn't use all of your voting power, you will be able to like dump that voting power into something that will make it like you did vote. So at least you'll have that. And then Cool Down Gaming Guild is going to be there at NFT NYC. I'm jealous. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I actually haven't been back to New York City except for once right after I left. I left in March of 2012. I went back, I think, later that year to get some extra stuff that I left behind. But yeah, I haven't been back to New York. It'll be fun. I think that'll be fun there. Yeah, well, good, Chris. So Chris is like, well, I'm not going to dump it. So why not? It's true. And then even if you did, you would just lose some rewards. Chris is going to go for a day. That's cool. You're not that far from there. You're in Boston. All right. Well, so now we got all of everybody's geographic location squared. Let's see. I was going to talk about a couple of things here. Let's just go real quick. Let's just scroll the news to make sure nothing has happened in the last 15 minutes. Because this is all looking pretty familiar here. Let's make sure you guys can see this. We're at the block. Prices are normal. This is all good. We're going to look at that for a second. Did you guys see this report on how FTX was handling seed phrases? Let's look at that. How crazy was that? I guess this is that article, but we'll share this tab instead to just make it easier. So I don't want to read this whole article here, but and you guys can see me, right? Yeah. So Alameda often had difficulty understanding what its positions were, let alone hedging or accounting. He went on. So this is SBF. Alameda is unauditable. I don't mean this in the sense of a major accounting firm will have reservations about auditing it. I mean this in the sense of we are only able to ballpark what its balances are, let alone something like a comprehensive transaction history. We sometimes find $50 million of assets lying around that we lost track of. Such is life. Wouldn't that be fun? Um, okay, they're talking about how some of these guys are so important. There's no cybersecurity, yada yada. This is the part. This is why we're here. The management of private keys and seed phrases used to control access to crypto assets was shambolic, according to the report. In one example, private keys for over 100 million in Ethereum assets were stored in plain text without encryption on an FTX group server. In another, single signature based keys that controlled access to billions of dollars in crypto assets were stored in AWS Secrets Manager or a password vault, each accessible by numerous employees, and many private keys were stored without backup procedures, meaning funds would be permanently lost if the associated key was. And the list goes on. This guy, John Ray III, really hates crypto. I mean, if I were also, I mean, this is a perfect job for him. Look at that. Coinbase Canada head, Algorand CFO. What? Oh, these are just about hires. Oh, this is an article. We can look at this if you guys want. Coinbase Canada head. I think this is just saying that there was a lot of hiring happening in crypto in March. Number one, Layer 1 blockchain developer Algorand hired Matthew Commons as its first CFO. Mt. Gox repayment window is opened. I think we already knew that. All right, so breaking news, folks. Breaking news: FTX was not managing their funds well. Moving on. I was also, and then we've talked a lot about this on my show. Where are all of the? So annoying. I queued up a bunch of stuff. Bummer. All right. It's not here. It's not here. There's this guy. He made, I don't know how accurate this is, but this is Lynn Alden. We're going to look at that about the credit crunch thing in a second. But I do want to look at this guy because we've talked a lot about that $1 billion from CZ, that $1 billion community fund that he decided to finally deploy. And that was really the start of this bull run. And this guy is no Binance bull. Let's get that straight. His name's Adam Cochran. I've looked at him in the past on this show. He seems like a smart guy. I've seen him make some mistakes though too. So that's funny. Charted the balance of what we were just talking about. This, you guys can see this, right? Yeah. Charted the balance of Alameda wallets. The blue dot is when Singh altered the code base to enable Alameda to withdraw unlimited amounts of crypto from FTX. So they were allowed to, and this is what happened. They got greedy. Okay, this is what I was looking at. So, folks, if this is accurate information, and we'll dive into the comments for all the fact checkers, the Binance address is now down to 23 million BUSD. Was at 40 million early Saturday and 93 million at the end of last week. Seems to be accelerating as we get to the end of the amount. So apparently, this account, this wallet, started at 1 billion when CZ kind of directed everybody, literally, let everybody know, which shame on us, because I've been talking about it ever since he did it. I mean, what a group of assholes we are for not taking advantage of this, because he literally said, I'm going to put $1 billion into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB. So behave accordingly. Now, if you're worried, which you may, it does appear, if this dude is right, and look, he's wearing glasses, folks, and he has a little suit on, like he's a partner at some place, he's a professor. How could he be wrong? Just kidding. But the Binance address now is to 23 million from 1 billion. So let's see. And he just screen grabs that. Okay, let's go to the comments real quick. Did anybody say, bro, what do you do if it hits zero and keeps going down, turning negative? Okay, so that guy's being funny. This person says this is the most irrelevant metric crypto Twitter tracks. Is it? And then he kind of defends himself by being like, going to say that the largest exchange who lost access to their US banking rails, publicly yeeting their own US stablecoin into other assets shortly after is not entirely irrelevant. I mean, right? Rings true to me. Okay. This dude, he's got a lot of followers. It was 1 billion a month ago. You seriously reporting on a 50 million swing over a weekend? I think he's just I think he's just pointing out that it's accelerating to zero. Okay, you guys are doing good. I don't really care. But the point of this is that I didn't know that if this is true, that this was the $1 billion that CZ was putting in and it's down to $23 million, he's not going to be able to defend 28,000 much. And I wonder, I can only imagine that he was hoping to get this a little bit higher. I'm sure CZ has more things that he can do under his wing. All right. Let's see here. Let's go over to. Do you want to look at Lynn Alden? This is a retweet. So this is how banks are responding to the Silicon Valley. Okay, share this tab instead. Collapse, Silicon Valley Bank collapse, subsequent deposit outflows. Largest 2-week cutback in bank lending in U.S. history, the largest 2-week cutback in bank lending to corporates in U.S. history, and the largest decline in lending to real estate on record. I mean, this isn't all that surprising considering that this was right in the middle of, this was during a lot of fear in banking. But if it does continue, it's going to do a lot of, the Fed's work for them and cooling the economy. And then it's going to become about, are we slipping into a recession? What's happening? But it should cool inflation. And at some point that will stop the Fed from raising interest rates. And then if it gets real bad, it's going to make them reverse. We already discussed that. Where's Crypto for Change? Is he here? How are you doing? Is Chris here? Chris, Algo Cleanup has a good guide. I'll try to figure it out. Also, do we know if Borderless and HiveMind is participating in XGov? Yeah. You're trying to get me to talk about things, Chris. I'm trying to be friendly out here. Okay? But you're trying to trigger me with Borderless and HiveMind questions. Thoughts on Trump? Okay. Hey, Coop, talk about HiveMind. Talk about Trump. Talk about Doris talking. I'm not asking this question. I actually don't know. But that would be they're probably right. They're probably going to be XGovs. Adam loved Luna and UST, FYI. Yeah. A lot of people did. A lot of people liked Luna. If you believe in if you believed in the game and you were able to get 20% on your stable coin, that's pretty attractive to people with lots of money and any money. But like if you can just get 20% on a stable coin and you got lots of stable coins, that's pretty good. XGov Algo Cleanup absolutely did. We looked at that on Friday. XGov, he does have a great breakdown. Doris Tacos, Taco Coins in the house, Shek's in the house. is Algorand Inc. and or Foundation going to participate in XGov? Well, I can say unequivocally that Algorand Foundation will not be in XGov because they don't even participate in governance. Now, I believe Inc. does participate in governance. A large majority of Inc. money is in HiveMind now. So HiveMind is actually Inc. So what do you mean, Chris? So HiveMind is actually Inc. So is that a thing that everybody admits? Chris, are you there? Just kidding. Does everybody admit that? Okay, moving on. Less doxed. Excited to see friends this week. Okay, so there's other things that I was going to talk about. I think it was going to be. You guys see all this crazy stuff that they're saying? This is completely left field. But I was looking at this, and actually, there was a better article. It's Daily Mail. So I don't know all of you over there on the other side, but this isn't like opinion or anything. But there's just a lot of this, like, you're never going to die stuff coming out right now. And tech, just like how they're going to be able to preserve brains, and you're going to be able to put your preserved brain into a robot, and you're going to be able to have your consciousness, or you're going to be able to have your consciousness uploaded to the cloud, and you're going to be able to still kind of exist and go to your funeral in not an avatar, but in a robot body. Now, this article is not about that, which I couldn't find for some reason because none of the queued up articles showed up this morning. So we're a little bit of a mess. But anti-aging pills, anybody else? Somebody actually put me onto this, and I'm enjoying it. It's by the one what is it called again? It's like True Nugent or something. I'm actually taking it. Hopefully there's no side effects. But okay, pills that can help a person reverse the effects of aging could be on the market in the next 5 years. Great. But yeah, this isn't the article, but all these guys are investing in, they have so much damn money. They're like, all right, how do we live forever? I'm never going to be able to spend all this money. Look at this guy. I don't know. That guy's got a lot of money too. And those guys all have lots of money. Look at them. Look how rich those guys are. What do they have in common? Okay. I think it's going to be the biggest revolution in medicine since the discovery of antibiotics. And as a savvy business person, you want to be on the leading edge of it. While aging does not directly kill people, older people are at risk of many deadly diseases such as Alzheimer's, heart disease, and cancer. Yeah, give me a pill to avoid all those things. Those are literally, maybe in Parkinson's. Like, let's do it. Aging is the greatest humanitarian challenge of all time. Do you guys want to live? Like, would you want to live 200 years? Like, would you, if they were able to like flood your brain with a bunch of like super blood that like was able to regenerate it all, and you just had like a dying body, would you put that brain into a robot and continue to live, and I guess still have a similar like connection to reality? Oh, so freaky. Anyways, okay, I'm not gonna. That's not even the article I wanted, so I'm not gonna dwell on this. Was I even sharing it? I was. Okay, losing people. You guys are like pro. You guys are like, all right. When he whipped out the Daily Mail, and when that guy started talking about the Daily Mail and the anti-aging, I couldn't do it. How's gold, by the way? I know you guys are all interested in that. Oh, it's down. What's going on, gold? Down about 15, and we're past open. Okay, so there you go. NASDAQ is not great. Not great to start the week. I think this indicates that a lot of people are nervous about earnings reports in this quarter. I think this indicates that people are not very hopeful that CPI might come under expectations, but it's still going to show pretty significant inflation. that is going to make the Fed continue to act. So the Dow's doing a lot better. It's just the NASDAQ that seems to be struggling. Apple delivered some bad news, I guess. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? Today's not, my finest hour, but I showed up, guys. I made it. I made it here today. It wasn't the easiest thing to do. AI focused blockchain, crypto GPT. Oh my God. Like, come on. This is stupid. And maybe it's serious, but it's just like when this type of stuff happens, it's just like, okay, AI. Chat GPT and now crypto GPT. $250 million valuation. Let's see, what is it? Who's behind it? ZK Layer 2 blockchain, crypto GPT has cashed in on a recent surge in interest around AI to raise $10 million in funding. The series, which was led by market maker DWF, which has emerged as one of the most active investors during the crypto bear market, gave the AI-focused blockchain a $250 million valuation. Crypto GPT recently rolled out a Web3-focused AI assistant, Alex, and is developing a ZK rollup layer 2 blockchain and a data to AI engine which collects, encrypts, and transfers data for commercial applications. Instead of applying ZK technology to payments, Crypto GPT integrates it for private data transfers. Their broad aim is to allow users to earn money by monetizing their data across fitness, dating, gaming, and education. It also plans to roll out non-fungible tokens that store the owner's activity data. Monetizing their data across fitness, dating, gaming, and education. Okay. Their native token, issued last month, has a market cap of just 12 million. Well, there you go. Who told you that I don't that the ReCoop doesn't give you what do they always say? Low cap gems? I started reading this by rolling my eyes, but these people just gave $10 million at a $250 million valuation, and their token, which I have no idea if it really matters, is has a market cap of 12 million. It's doing pretty well ever since that article. It's up to 13.3. Where can you buy it, Cooper? Where can you get GPT? Get it on Uniswap or Bitfinex. I am not buying GPT. I don't care. Do you guys care? I doubt it. Love Rumi says the S&P is only okay. That must be from somebody saying, "Oh, there you are. There's crypto for change. Thanks for showing up, buddy. I've been lost. I've been flailing over here. I needed your guidance. Algo GPT. We should do that. We should totally do it. Algo GPT, and we can call it Algo Alex, and we'll come up with a product called Algo Alex because we love to. Why are you looking at the Nasdaq? Well, I'm looking at the Nasdaq, sir. Kurt. I'm just kidding. I'm looking at the Nasdaq because for the past 2 years, crypto and the Nasdaq have moved together. Now, that's actually changed recently. And I do believe that the S&P, I think you're right, and I think that most people are like, the S&P needs to break 3,800. And when it does that, it's going to really fall. And I think some doomsday sayers think that S&P could test 3,000. And if that happens, we're going to be in shambles, and there's going to be a lot of great buying opportunities. But I do think that you are probably, Kurt, you're onto something in the fact that the S&P is going to a lot of people are looking at what's happening with the S&P. But in my defense on why I'm looking at the Nasdaq is because there's been crypto and the Nasdaq have been highly correlated in the recent history. Love Rumi pushes back on that, being like, that's only 500 large companies. Now, we're kind of run by 500, large companies. Yeah, the S&P is more representative of the economy for sure. Overall, it's not on Algorand. I'm not buying it. Maximus, you are a maxi in the most Maximus way. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. SMG. Coop, why do you think alts are not moving with Bitcoin? Well, they kind of have. Well, not ours. But in fact, Ethereum has been outperforming, right? I have a feeling that people are nervous about security laws, Ibu. And it's hard right now to what just happened? That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. I think people are worried about security laws. So I think that, and people are waiting for this. But yeah, I think that CZ, for one, bought a lot of Bitcoin with his BUSD. I think he bought a ton of Bitcoin. I think we're going to see a correction in this. Now, that could be wildly wrong, and we're going to see 34. But yeah, Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin for a little bit now. I mean, obviously, over the last 7 days, it's up a couple percent, and Bitcoin is down a couple. But you're right. I mean, in general, except for outliers like Dogecoin, obviously had a good week because of Elon. Polkadot is down over the last 7 days. That's pushing down. That was pumping though. Polkadot had a good time. It was up to like 660 at some point. So yeah, my opinion, and it's great to have you in the room, by the way, Ibu. Thanks for coming in. You're having great questions. My opinion on why alts aren't pumping is because Terry has done a good enough job spooking the market. And we're all sort of wondering, a lot of people want to throw all of their money into something right now because they're kind of like, well, what are they going to do? Yeah, algo is just down. That's the better question. Is like, why is Algorand underperforming alts? Because let's talk about that on the wine. We only have about 5 more minutes. But it is Arbitrum 2 is not doing good. So yeah, but if you look over the last 7 days, and I feel like in that last 7 days, we've actually had some decent movement, or maybe we haven't in the last 7 days, but it's down over 2%. But something like Near is up 2.5%. VeChain is up almost 3%. Hedera had that huge nonsensical pump. They always do that. It's so weird. I mean, Hedera does the same thing. Algorand will do that as well. We'll have like these pumps outside of when everybody else is pumping, and then we'll crash outside of that. A lot of times that Salria wash trading. Stellar's doing terrible. Anyways. So, I mean, short answer is I think people are nervous, and I think that people are nervous about what the hell is going to happen with Bitcoin, because if in fact CZ is running out of BUSD, which he's not, but I mean, if that $1 billion is running down, and we know that the US has all of those Bitcoin that they're prepared to dump this year in 4 more tranches, isn't that the right word? So they're going to be selling, and they're obviously going to time it to cause max pain. So we have all that looming. And, alts are the riskiest of the risky. If you're thinking, okay, I'm going to be conservative in the crypto space, you're buying Bitcoin, you're buying Ethereum. And I mean, what else are you buying if you're really trying to be conservative? You're buying, you could buy something like Litecoin. There's a lot of liquidity in Litecoin. Those markets are pretty robust. And it's not going anywhere. What do you guys think the safest is other than Algorand? You got to hope. I mean, the thing is about Algorand and it's underperforming. It sucks. I mean, a lot of people point at the foundation and they're selling because they have really hurt their runway. So in order to survive, they're going to have to sell algo is the accusation. And it seems to have legs, right? I mean, there seems to be some truth to it. They lost a lot of money and some mistakes in the bull run. And I don't think that they've been fully transparent about the pain that caused their operations. And unfortunately, I mean, we're decentralized, but they have a key to the purse, and they have a mandate, and they have a lot of expensive employees. You know what I mean? So they are constantly having to sell. So that's frustrating. But if you actually just look at it, if you want to be excited about Algorand, it's so damn easy. I mean, I tweeted something that was pretty easy yesterday to tweet, but it's just so obvious. Like there is constantly news. When do you ever see any? Maybe are we in a bubble and there's awesome news happening everywhere? Because folks, like if you think about Algorand and you think about all of these competitors, there's very little like hypeable things coming out from these competitors, except for like just the fact that the communities maybe are larger, I guess. But like I've talked about it so many times, it feels stupid and repetitive for me to keep saying it. But the Bank of Italy, I'm losing people, guys. But Bank of Italy, TravelX, there's just so much good stuff happening. There's a lot of people here creating cool things. I talked about it at the top of the show, the Crazy Goose robots and all of this. It's just there's a lot of good stuff happening. So this is the right time. And potentially in the next couple of weeks, if bad things happen, we're going to see. I feel like we're going to find a direction here pretty soon, because seems like conflict with China. I mean, is that a nothing burger? What do you guys think about that? Is conflict with US China conflict, is that a nothing? Because let's look at this. I'm going to go here real quick. Let's look at this. A little macro news to lift you up before we go. China military ready to fight. The evening news broadcast shows Chinese fighter jets on an aircraft carrier with the Chinese subtitles Eastern Battle District successfully concludes the patrol exercises around Taiwan Island and joint sword exercise on an outdoor screen in Beijing Monday. Okay, I don't really know what that means. China's military declared Monday is ready to fight after completing 3 days of large-scale combat exercises around Taiwan. Okay, so they're just saying that they're ready. This is like such a, this is AP too, but it's just like pretty inflammatory. When I think it looks like they just did 3 large-scale combat exercises around Taiwan that simulating sealing off the island in response to the Taiwanese president's trip to the U.S. last week. The combat readiness patrols named Joint Sword were meant as a warning to self-governing Taiwan, which China claims as its own. The theater's troops are ready to fight at all times and can fight at any time to resolutely smash any form of Taiwan independence and foreign interference attempts. Okay, that's pretty bold. Military experts say the exercises serve both as intimidation and as an opportunity for Chinese troops to practice sealing off Taiwan by blocking sea and air traffic, an important strategic option for Chinese military might pursue. Option the Chinese military might pursue in the event it uses military force to take Taiwan. So I don't think that they want this right now. They're trying to become the global superpower. I think taking Taiwan will just turn a bunch of people against them, wouldn't it? And cause problems. Seems like bad timing. If I was their military advisor. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying, and let's sign off, and we'll do better tomorrow. Anyone else ready for? Shut up. What are you talking about, buddy, man? Doofy, your mom says hi. It looks like the hat is hanging out with Doofy's mom. Yeah, no face. Well, look at Astar. I don't actually even know Astar that well. They do great communication, Coop. Look at their CEO. Algorand is dead in this way. Yeah, guys. I mean, if you've been watching the show, you know what I think about that. No Face is in the building right here. I prefer Polkadot over Algorand as their ecosystem is way bigger and dev activity is constantly at second wheel behind Ethereum. Algorand, I have a huge bag, but it's boring as fuck. I think people would also say that Polkadot's a bit boring, but it's not boring that their dev activity is always at the top. And it's also not boring some of the legwork that they have done with the SEC and regulators in the United States. So, frankly, honestly, Polkadot's definitely on my radar as something, to diversify. The biggest thing Algorand needs right now is someone outside of the Algorand ecosystem talking about Algorand. I know, guys. I know. Besides, I'm getting tired of Algo HQ. I'm just kidding. I'm not tired. I'm tired today, but I'm not tired. But we do. I mean, and then Crypto for Change, I remember when I was scrolling up, says maybe Little Dirk, but Little Dirk's not talking about it. I will say that Next Gens has done a great job at highlighting Algorand, right? They're in their cool animation. They really centerpiece. They're not afraid of saying we chose Algorand. They're not trying to, hide the fact that they're using the Algorand blockchain. I think that's cool. Somebody, Core War or something, I think is his Twitter handle. He pointed out that DRL, the Algorand DRL championship recently had over 17 million views, and Algorand is all over that thing. So it's entering into people's minds. I just think that, yeah, I mean, it's just been we can't catch a break for one, and we can't catch any momentum. Any momentum that we had is like we have this weird MyAlgo hack that's just like looming for like months, and there's been a lot of fighting, and there's been and I'm guilty of not fighting, I don't think, but calling things out, and it's been a mess, right? So here we are. We're on the other side of we're in April. We're in a traditionally great day, month for prices, and I don't know. It's just all very hard to get excited about the price. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. The only excitement right now for prices, in my opinion, are buying opportunities, because I'm not very excited short term about prices. It could decorrelate from the stock market. That would be very interesting. But I don't have a lot of hope for like short-term gain. I just don't when it comes to that. So right now, just my thinking it's not really about price. I look at price, I'm interested in it, but I'm mainly interested in buying opportunities at this point. Because one thing that you do, and this is where the FOMO comes from, and I'm not trying to create FOMO right now, but one thing that you do want to do in these times is make sure that you position yourself for when this thing turns around. And you don't want to wait till the end because it could be it could be too late, right? So that's where FOMO is born. But good morning, it's Buddy, man. Glad to have you in here, buddy. Thanks for coming over. Crypto for Change has got some dot moonbeam. I'm hoping it pays off in the long run. Doofy, your mom says hi. She's maxing the black card. And then Doofy gave sad eye emojis. Good morning, by the way. Anyone else ready for Amuranth's new ASMR? ASMR is that music that just kind of makes you get into a meditative state. What kind of drugs do you do? It's Buddy, man. Are you just a guy that drinks? Let's get the real questions. Do you listen to ASMR and like eat psilocybin chocolate? Buddy, man, is that your jam? Are you just like smoking a joint and listening to that type of thing? Are you just clean and sober and just really expanding your consciousness? Okay. No Face is like, no. Polkadot's boring as fuck too. Though I like the activity from the devs. Yeah, for sure. And it's, it says something about us, No Face, that what we're attracted to. We want things to be, it seems like we're probably on the same page, especially if you have Algo and Polkadot. We want things that make sense. You make some good points on Algorand paying that high profile team they are building. I hope the team pays off, especially with those big salaries they're collecting. They are collecting some big salaries for sure, dude. Yeah. LOL, they're trying to replace you, Coop. Who's trying to replace me? Who is? They can't replace me, Maximus. Nobody can be me. I'm just kidding. But that's probably true. I could probably, yeah. There's too much big money. Big money isn't doing this right now. There's no volume. You guys see it. I mean, I get it, but there's been no. We've been checking the volume for the past 2 weeks. There's no volume, and ever since CZ has had to slow down. I mean, what's going to happen with that? You know what I mean? I guess the volume is ticking up a touch. But yeah, 13 billion is not impressive. 6 billion is not impressive. What was the algo volume? I didn't look at that. Yeah, 37. No, not impressive. I mean, what was like 350 million a couple weeks ago? That was obvious. It was XRP. They do it to the same ones. It's so funny. South Korea wash trades XRP. They wash trade, I'm assuming HBAR and Algo, and pump that price. So be careful when you see, for no reason, Algo's volume super, super high is probably because of South Korea. People are starting to be like, all right, maybe Stacks isn't it. You guys, anybody like Multiverse X? Which is formerly, what is it? L. Ron Hubbard. What is Multiverse X was, why can't I remember? It was Elrond. No, right? E-Gold. Yeah, where'd I go? Yeah, E-Gold. Okay, Elrond. That's for sure what it was. Do you guys like that? Nope. Never heard of it. Yeah, well, it used to be called Elrond. I think that they're Romanian. They had a problem recently. I'm not into it, but I see people like it. And I think Justin Bonds likes it. He came on the show late last year. He seems to like Elrond, Tezos. I don't know, I think he just likes sharding. Maybe he just likes sharding. The governor's hat. Oh, there you go. Evis is, chimes in. Is amazing. Coop, don't listen to anyone. You came and talked to us the past hour. I kind of do too, Kurt. Elrond. I did have a hard time not saying L. Ron Hubbard every time, though. I have to admit that. Let me know when James Bonds likes it. There you go. Jessica is talking in Next Gen's AMA with Magic Eden. Is that happening right now? Yeah, sharding. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming in. We're gonna be. I'll be back tomorrow. So today's Monday. This is like this weird new thing I'm doing at the end of my show. Today's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll be back at 9 a.m. Eastern with probably a little bit more energy. I'm feeling kind of worn out from the weekend, and we're gonna have more information. It's Monday. Usually, a bunch of a bunch of interesting shit happens on a Monday right after I sign off around 10 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern. So let's see. Let's see if anything exciting happens. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.